Okay. Hi, I'm Christine, and I'm here with a Love Boat alum who has agreed to let me interview her officially for our podcast. So, without further ado, I'm going to turn the camera around and we'll get started. Okay. This is my questions that I have for her. And actually, this is because this is the first one. Am I in the camera?
Yes, you are.
We're flying by the seat of our pants. So, there's going to be, I'm sure, a lot of fumbles, but who cares? Whatever. All right.
It's fine.
Okay, so please tell us your name, your Love Boat year, and where you live and what you do.
All right. So I'm Rainbow Chen, and I am class of 93 Love Boat, right? Yeah. At the Ocean campus of Genton. And I am located nowadays in Honolulu, Hawaii, on the island of Oahu. And in terms of what I do, after changing jobs every year for 5 years, from like management consulting, a nonprofit, internet startup, I actually went back to Stanford and taught the MBAs for 8 years. And so I've continued to help Ivy Leaguers and brilliant professionals get clear about what they want and then have the courage and confidence to go for what they want in the boardroom, bedroom, and beyond. So super fun to help people in all aspects of their lives be more authentically aligned.
What did you teach at Stanford?
I taught career management. So I was in the career center at the business school for 8 years with the MBAs at Stanford. So super fun to be back on the farm, as we call it, because I did my undergrad and grad there too. So that's probably a big piece of how I ended up at Genton.
Oh, okay. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Okay. So, and how do you and I know each other?
Oh my goodness.
How do we know each other?
Well, honestly, I didn't realize that we knew each other so much until I saw like a thing pop up. I mean, I know everyone's like Meta, whatever, but like I appreciate Facebook because something popped up that said Tony, was going to this, and I was like, what is this? And then you were in town, and we got to have a nice stroll together. I got to take you to the some hula fun last night? No,
2 nights ago.
2 nights ago.
Yeah.
And then on walk home, we realized we had been to a lot of the same events. I've been to your oriented events, I'm sure. And then we had so many friends in common, including, I think I'm wearing this from Judy Chen.
Yes.
Right? My bandmate from Funk You. And so there's so many ways we intersected.
Did she go on Love Boat? Did Judy go on Love Boat?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
So, and actually soon also, like I was talking to my bandmates because our Funk You, we're having a Asia Palooza.
I should have.
That's right.
Yeah. So
lots
I
of
know
common.
Rainbow's name. Like, how can you not remember Rainbow, right? But I don't think, like you were saying, I don't think we ran to the same crowd. Mm-hmm. I did attend your performances. It's like a rock band.
It was Funk You.
Funk You, yeah. I mean, no, but the
Buddha
kind of
Belly.
music.
Buddha Belly.
Buddha Belly, yes. I think it was the Buddha Belly.
Buddha
yes,
Belly
I did
was
go to.
After Funk You.
Yeah. So
yep.
But we ran to the same crowd. We have a lot of mutual friends. So okay. All right. So let's start out by why don't you first tell me where were you born? Where did you grow up? And were there lots of Asians where you grew up? And then if you speak Mandarin or Taiwanese.
Okay, so I was actually born in Taiwan.
Oh, okay.
But I came to the States when I was a toddler, 10 months old, which I think is the same as Jim.
It is.
Yeah, and so Jim and I our parents went to med school together. So I knew him from med school reunions. So when you said that y'all were connected and really building out this initiative, I was like, what? Another small world.
Yes,
right?
and just to clarify, so Jim is Jim Liu, who is my partner in crime. We're building this Love Boat alumni initiative together, and he actually didn't have a choice. I dragged him in. He helped me to build Oriented too, so he's very happy to be involved.
Yes.
But I didn't know that. I had no idea that Jim and Rainbow knew each other, much less their fathers.
Yep.
Your fathers knew each other, so yeah.
Yeah.
This initiative is bringing out everybody's first degree of connections.
Yeah,
Really,
exactly.
It really is.
Right,
okay.
because I listened to his interview that you did.
Yeah.
And he talked about how his dad.
Yes.
And X percentage of our dad's classmates all came to the U.S.
Yes, isn't that
that's
amazing?
Part of how I got my name is because Dad came first to the U.S. And when I was born, someone told him the story of Noah's Ark. And he wasn't Christian or religious at the time. My dad's always been very philosophical. So he said that my birth was a promise for the future, just like the rainbow was a promise from God. And supposedly it's a promise to him that our family be reunited, and so we were in the States. So that's how I had the name Rainbow as my birthright.
I was going to ask you
Yes.
that too, right?
It's a very sweet
unusual.
story. I know, like no pressure on a child to be the promise of the future, right? So
you're the only rainbow I know.
right.
Okay, so where did you where were you? So where did you guys move to? And where'd you grow up? And were there lots of Asians?
Oh no. So my first year I think was in Chicago actually. I don't remember it because I was a toddler. But then we were in the South. So my dad moved around a bit because he couldn't figure out which specialty he wanted to be in. So he did quite a few internships and fellowships. So we were in Louisiana, Mississippi, South Carolina. Yes, South Carolina, you were there too. My sister, who also went to Stanford and Genton as well, and is the big reason I moved to Hawaii to be closer to my nephews. And so we were in South Carolina, but I mostly grew up in North Carolina. That's like Vietnam, as we call it, Fayetteville, because my dad was an Army doctor for a little bit, and then he opened up a private practice and was kind of like the dying, solo practitioner after some time in Wilmington by the beach.
So Fayetteville, you said.
Fayetteville, up until about maybe third grade, and then Wilmington. So primarily Wilmington, the beach town. So
okay, so there are no Asians there, right?
No, it was I was 50% of my Asian population. There was black, whites, me, and then my sister. But then my sister, I helped her get into School of Science and Math. I was going to go to School of the Arts, at one point. But then, and then there was one Laotian. So it ended up being me and my friend Vasana, who were in the high school 2000.
Yeah, I had the same experience.
Yeah, no
so, but you speak fluent Taiwanese and Mandarin? Is it because you spoke in the home?
So at home we spoke a lot Taiwanese and Mandarin. So it's so mixed together. I actually don't know which one I'm speaking. So I have to really think about some friends only speak Mandarin, some friends only speak Taiwanese. So I have to really think hard if I'm gonna focus. And it was mostly just growing up, and we were blessed when we were little. I think this comes up later. That we went back to Taiwan a lot as kids. So
hold on that. I'm gonna get to that. Okay. So let me just ask you just a couple of questions about your parents to establish context.
Oh yeah.
So when and why did they move to the U.S.? When and why did they move to the U.S.?
So my dad, because of
work,
the internship. I think he went to Taipei.
Yixian.
Yeah,
yes, that's what Jim said. Yeah.
Yes. So we were there, and then I guess to do residency, he came to the States, and so that was the big reason.
And both of your parents are Taiwanese?
Yeah, both Taiwanese. My mom actually did gaoxue, yishuyan. She's pharmacy. So
but are they many generations Taiwanese?
Oh yeah. I didn't understand. We always had the taogetsu, which is the original compound, where you have the huge square and a lake outside, and we always called it taogetsu. But I didn't realize that the whole city built around us. So we were I think we were the last, for a long time, we were one of the last Taiwanese families to keep that. And only recently they sold it, and I was very sad. But thankfully, a fortune teller told them that they have to keep some part of the house, otherwise everyone would have bad luck in the area. So we still have, the old, hundreds of years old lychee trees and the ancestral, bye-bye, so.
Well, this is just an aside, did your parents have any hesitation or think that the program was a KMT sponsored program?
Honestly, I don't actually even remember, and I asked my mom this, earlier today. She's like, I don't know how we got you in. I think it was just a thing that I grew up with. I think maybe towards the end of senior year, she was like, oh, by the way, you're gonna go to Love Boat. And I was like, Love Boat? Was this cruise or something?
Oh, so you hadn't heard about it before?
I hadn't heard about it. I don't think so. But I think I always knew that at some point I would be going to something, but I didn't really know how or why. My guess is I thought it was if you went to a good school that's how you got to go, because Taiwan wanted great students to come back to be future leaders. That's what I thought it was about. But really underneath it all, I think most parents, my mom was hoping that I would meet somebody.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Okay. So but so you don't know if your mom doesn't remember if you pulled any strings to get in, but you had relatives that.
I have relatives who are pretty, we were there, our Bawi probably lost family, during that time. So and my mom actually would fly back to Taiwan to vote every year for DMT.
Okay.
So my family's pretty, not outwardly political per se, but we're very, we spoke Taiwanese when we weren't allowed to, right? And so when I go back to Taiwan, like summers, right? I would spend every 2 or 3 summers we would go back to Taiwan. The Suki, the taxi drivers knew I was from Taiwan. Knew I was from the U.S. because I spoke Taiwanese. Because our generation doesn't speak Taiwanese that grew up in Taiwan.
Right. Interesting.
My Taiwanese
That's
is
right.
like, I would say it's like 60% and then 40% Mandarin. I feel more comfortable in my Taiwanese because I don't know, I don't have the Beijing accident to do the
Beijing accident.
Accident. Did I say that right? Oops. Accent.
All right. So that kind of sets the tone for. Okay. So let's talk about your Love Boat experience. Okay. So you said you went to the Ocean campus, right? Did you choose to go there, or you just got
I think you're
assigned?
You're assigned.
No, I heard some people got to choose where they went, but we'll find that out.
Definitely did not choose to go there, but I'm glad I did actually.
Yeah. And did you already know people that were going on the trip, or you went pretty much solo, flying solo?
It wasn't until I got to Stanford that then we realized that some of us were going to be there. So like my best friend, Jeff, was at the Genton campus, and then some other friends were with me at Ocean.
Okay.
So.
Now, so you had already been to Taiwan multiple times, so it wasn't like brand new to you, right?
No,
okay.
No.
So then when you showed up, it wasn't what was your impression? Like, were you like, oh wow, this is so cool, look at all these people here, or did you feel like, yeah, this is Taiwan, I know all about it?
No, I think it was neat to see it from a different perspective because, if I went back to Taiwan, it's always with family, right? So it was very different to be around a bunch of young kids, together. And I will say, like, my first experience of like, oh my God, there's Asians, like, similar to me was actually in middle school, like governor school, like where the North Carolina kids get to go, like, the nerd camp.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so that was for me the first time, like, ooh, there's other Asians. And so I think by the time I got to college, I was like, oh my God, there's so many Asians,
Okay.
And so with Taiwan, it was more like, oh, what can I learn about Taiwan that's different from having like a family? Because family summers were just family summers, right? So different.
How many roommates did you have? Do you remember?
I was trying to remember. I feel like there should have been 4 of us, but I kind of can only remember 3 of us right now.
Okay. And then, do you remember what group you were placed in? Well, how old were you when you went? That determines a lot.
So I don't think Ocean was a very small campus compared to Genton. I want to say like we were maybe like 200 versus Genton was like 1,000.
Yeah.
So I don't think we were split into groups.
I see.
didn't get that sense because I went summer after freshman year.
Even language, they didn't split you up into like intermediate, advanced.
Okay, they probably did.
Okay. Well, you would have been advanced, I'm sure.
Well, I don't know because I gotta say I tried to take bilingual Chinese my freshman first quarter, and like I did not understand Pinyin. It was actually harder than chem class, so I was like, forget it.
Okay.
But I will say I'm very proud of us because we fought to get them to teach us traditional instead of simplified.
Good for you. Good for you.
And
wow.
by the end, when I left Stanford, they were teaching conversational Taiwanese.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, super
amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah, so.
Okay, so did you get to choose an activity like dance, cooking? Okay, so what did you choose?
Oh, for sure, dance.
Okay.
I grew up as a dancer.
Okay.
I just remember, I still kind of wonder where it is because I love that gold fan with like the sound, so it was like a martial arts.
I'm sure you wouldn't have thrown it away.
I know.
You wouldn't have thrown it away.
I've moved so many times now. I don't know where it is.
It was Chinese traditional dance, right? Yeah. And did you
sure.
perform during closing ceremonies?
I know we performed. I can't remember. But we also did praying mantis stick. I remember the stick too.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay. So, what were some of your more memorable moments? Like it could be something fun or funny, crazy, serious, or like what do you remember about that time? Like
I do remember being in like Taiwanese language or Mandarin language class and being like, why is no one else paying attention? Everyone was like asleep. I did not realize that people were like taking the cab to Taipei. I thought Gentan and Geelong was far apart from each other. I didn't realize it's only like a half-hour ride in the middle of the night. So I didn't realize people were actually going to Genton. I actually didn't even know that until recently when I talked to Bennett.
You mean you never went to Taipei to party?
I don't think so.
What did you do on the weekends?
Okay, so weekends I probably went with family. I think. I don't actually remember, to be honest.
But you never went, so you never snuck out or...
I didn't sneak out. I think weekends I probably did go out dancing because I definitely like danced and was like, oh, the LA boys are here. And then my cousin was like, oh my God, the LA boys. And I was like, oh, I don't know who they are. But she was like, whoa. But what I remember is feeling really grateful actually that I was at Ocean because I think that because many of us didn't party, that we actually became good friends. Because we weren't like.
Well, you can be good friends by partying together too. You know,
too, but when you're sitting there playing like pickle pie, you know, or like writing in your journal, you know, and having someone come over and ask like, "What are you writing about?" You just, I think, get into deeper conversations potentially.
Interesting.
And so what I really remember is that when they told us we were going to go on buses, me being the like super counselor organizer, I was like, oh. And they're gonna assign us, but they're gonna let us choose. I was like, I went around and told everyone, I was like, my close friends, I was like, when they say go to the buses, all of us, I'm handpicking y'all, are going to bus F. So we had the most rockin' bus, and we were like, bus F the best, you know. so I really organized our crew there. So
I'm surprised you didn't go back to be a counselor.
They actually tried to get me to go back, you know, and the counselors are always like, you're more. I actually think I hung out with the counselors, to be honest, more than the students.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was a little frustrated with some of my classmates.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to say why?
I will, because I actually think I was really upset in some ways, because I was like, these are Taiwanese tax dollars that are paying for you to be here, and you're completely rude and obnoxious and like not appreciative, because they'd be like, oh, it's so third world, squat toilets, blah blah blah, and they were honestly, like, I saw them sometimes, they were really rude to the locals, and I was like, that's not okay.
Did you say anything to them?
I don't remember, you know, but I remember I probably did. Knowing me, I probably would say something like kindly, but I was like, that's not cool, guys, you know. So
and I mean, the maturity level varied because the age range was quite. To me, it was quite. It's 18 to 23. There's a big difference between when you just graduated from high school versus when you're about to graduate from.
Oh, but high school, Sam was the sweetest. We loved, like, Sam was our little like high schooler in our crew.
You know, I think you know. So if we were able to relaunch the program, I think there needs to be some kind of interview. Yeah. Well, I guess you can't interview 1,000 people, but there's got to be a way to, or at least go through orientation. Go through orientation and say, hey, this is our expectations of you. Right. Exactly. That would have helped, right? Yeah. Because we were just all thrown into there. Yeah. So that's exciting. It's exciting to think about a better version. You know, we lessons learned from 46 years, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So
I'm going to turn off my alarm.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. We had to put it on pause for a second.
Because another Genton friend, Bennett was actually one of my buddies too, and that's why I think we were closer, because I was, you know, having a little quiet moment writing in my journal, and I remember him coming over and being like, "What are you writing about?" And that just kind of led us into like a deep conversation, and then he ended up being the person that I visited when I was in Shanghai, along with Jim, and my cousin Ted, who also was Genton. So yeah, there are a lot of folks there, and Alan Tien. Oh yeah.
Let me ask you about impact.
Yeah.
Let me ask you these other questions first, and then we'll talk about like impact, friendships, all that kind of. Okay. But this is a question I like to ask people.
Okay.
You can take the fifth.
Okay.
Did you hook up with anyone? More than one? Or more than one? Please explain.
On that trip, I did not. Because I, to be honest, I think I had come through like a little Stanford heartbreak. You know,
okay.
So I was like tender. But I definitely had a couple crushes.
Okay.
And I think in the future I did kiss one of them long after.
You're not the only one. Okay, but did you have any crushes? Did you have a crush on any of the counselors? Because that often happens.
You know, I definitely hung out with the counselors. I can't recall necessarily having like one particular crush. I'm thinking of like a couple guys I was like, oh, they're so cool, but they were like my classmates. So, and then, you know, now we're good friends, of course. So yeah.
Here, film me for a second.
Okay.
So, not knowing Rainbow except through friends of friends, I am shocked to learn this about her, because I thought for sure, one of my questions is, did you fit the stereotype of being a wild party child and even get a demerit? Or were you relatively well behaved? Like, I just, because I always see you on stage and you're dancing and you're singing and you're so social.
Yes.
So I thought for sure you hooked up, you went out partying, you snuck out to Taipei. I was very wrong on that. Okay.
Well, I will say, my parents sent me to college with two things. They were like, your reputation is what you have to protect, which now, of course, you're like, people are going to say whatever they're going to say. And then the second one was like, if anything happens to you, the guy might say they're gonna help you, but like it's still your body. Like they didn't even use the words, but but that's what they sent me to college with, and so I was very, very like still pretty careful. So I mean, I definitely had my hookups in college for sure, but I dated my college sweetheart for 8 years, so it was pretty tight there at some points. But
okay,
yeah.
Did you perform? Do you remember performing during closing ceremonies?
I'm sure we did.
Okay.
I do remember like a big gym.
Yeah, maybe if you saw your old photos.
Yeah.
She doesn't have all her stuff with her. You don't have any photos?
Oh, I'm sure I do somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm sure I do. I had the yearbook somewhere.
You have your yearbook.
I moved here to Oahu with like 2 suitcases.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. A lot of people still have it, but don't know where it is.
But the best part is my sister went the year after, and they're the exact same pictures.
That's true.
People.
So, yeah. Okay, so I guess the last question before we talk about impact, okay, is some people got emotional when they were saying goodbye. Do you remember feeling like that, or
Oh, I'm sure I did. I mean, just now, right before we started, I was looking for I was like, let me get in the mood and play some songs, and then suddenly, you had that awesome Facebook post with all the songs, and I played one, and I was like, oh no, this Chinese song is like making me cry.
Yes.
Like me bye bye. Oh my goodness, so
I'll post that.
Sure.
I'll post that one too.
Yeah,
that was so sweet.
I'm sure I cried when I had to say bye to friends. But the truth of it is, some of us really stayed in touch. So you're going to ask.
Yeah. So so I like to bring all of these podcast interviews down, to talk about sort of the impact. I got it. Okay. Yeah. So, all right. So, one of the biggest reasons why I'm excited about doing these alumni interviews is because, sure, I'd love to hear about all the trouble they got into during the program, but as we all know, for many people, not everyone, but for many people, it had such a lasting impact on our lives, be it personal, like your personal identity, social, long-term, friends forever. Some people got married, and some people were motivated because of the program to move back to Asia and launch their careers there. So I am hoping that these alumni podcasts will help us all to better understand the bigger picture and the impact that the program had. And this ties to actually our initiatives that are on our website. So I really encourage people to, now I'm digressing, but I really encourage people to read the initiatives page of our website, and hopefully something will spark your interest and you may want to get involved. Okay, all right, enough of me.
Yay.
Okay, so to bring it all home, talk about like what impact did the study tour program have on you in any way? Friends, like you stayed in touch with people.
I stayed in touch with quite a few friends. I will say that you were talking about like things I remember. I remember definitely doing. So I was a little bit of wild child in the sense I did like dancing, so I was definitely known for that. And I'm sure on the weekends, definitely went clubbing. Like I said, somehow I ended up on stage with the LA boys and didn't realize it.
You did?
Yeah. I was like, well, I don't know. These guys were like, come up and dance. We're like, all right, So I didn't know who they were. Like I said, my cousin was like, wow, we got to dance with them. But then we did the slave auction. So we killed the slave auction. So we were definitely like the popular girls in some ways, especially because I choreographed a dance to Never Gonna Get It? Or no,
Never Gonna Give You Up?
Never Gonna Get It, Never Gonna Get It.
Oh, yeah.
I think we did that one, or we did Something He Can Feel. I might have blended the two because they're both like en vogue, sexy, fun. I think I was Never Gonna Get It. So,
I think you need to mention your dance background.
Oh, right. So I grew up in ballet, and then I did hip hop, and did awards with my drill team in high school, and then in college I discovered ballroom dance. So social dance, not the ballroom. Although I'm learning that now. And then
And so now you're doing a lot of hula.
I'm doing a lot of hula now, but I love fusing it. So my kumu, thankfully in San Francisco, is amazing. Patrick Mukuakane is actually very into fusing hula, and so it's really special to have someone that's modern. And so I like blending. I like the fusion. And I love teaching cuddles and blues. So cuddle party meets blues dancing, healthy touch through hugs and dance. It's super fun. So then
I'm sure. Do you think anybody has video of either the slave auction or
that would be amazing. If
oh,
they
you know what?
did.
We didn't have cell phones back then, so somebody would have had to have
like
a
full
camcorder.
camcorder.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like Jeff Ma had stuff like that. So I'm gonna ask.
Okay, yeah.
him.
See if you could track that down.
Yeah, because that would be really fun to see. But
Yeah.
yeah, so Jeff Ma. So my roommate Stacy Lin was a Taiwanese. Also, like she grew up in Panama, so she's beautiful, like Catherine Zeta-Jones, but like Latino and Taiwanese. So she and I could hang. We'd speak Taiwanese, Mandarin, English, and we'd mix it all up. And then she'd throw in Spanish, and then I'm like, I lost you. But basically, like we were 3 peas in a pod. So I would fly between, you know, I was in San Francisco, Stanford, but I would go to LA all the time for her, and then she and I would go to Jeff's place for New Year's, and you know, I was one of her 60 people at her wedding in Panama. So we're still very, like, you know, yeah, we're still really close. And so Stacy, my roommate there, Jeff, and then when I go to New York, then we ping all of our Gentan or Ocean Hayanta share friends, and then Bennett and Alan Tian are back and forth here a lot too, so I see them from time to time. But I actually
Did anybody ever organize an Ocean reunion for your year?
not that I know of. Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, maybe they were waiting for you to do it.
Yeah, maybe Bus F. Seriously, Bus F was awesome. We had so
maybe
many,
you guys should think
many-
about it.
Yeah, I'd have to like.
Because the
remember
smaller
everyone.
groups do have a better chance of pulling it
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, it's just
So,
like Stanford
yeah.
trying to pull me back in
Yeah.
for our reunion too.
Yeah.
So.
Anything else you want to say about the, you know, how you feel about the Love Boat? Like, I'm sure you're very
Yeah.
grateful for going.
Yeah, I think it was good to learn more about the culture, you know, and then like try to learn Mandarin. So flipping hard.
Did it
and
change you at all? Did it change your perspective, or did you see things differently? Or
I think I think I appreciated that the government was trying to help Taiwan be more at the forefront of people's minds, right? And the hope. So what I thought it was is that if you went to a good school or you're like tied to it politically somehow, that they wanted you to come back so that the future leaders of Taiwan would think of Taiwan well, or future leaders of the world, I should say, would think of Taiwan well and then support Taiwanese people more. Because one of my roommates was from, I remember I was like, whoa, she's from like Madagascar or something. She was super quiet, but I was like, whoa, we are like international. So I was surprised that there were people who were like Cantonese that were there. I was like, well, what are you doing here? Because I'm, you know, little Taiwanese, you know. I was like, huh? You know, but at the same time, I'm like, well, the more we spread, you know, the love of Taiwan, the more hopefully, you know, we can support Taiwan as we get older and have more ways to like, you know, be impactful and, you know, help the people of Taiwan, especially now. I don't know what's going to happen, but, you know, I still have a lot of family there, and I'm thinking about going back and retiring there potentially. Yeah, so because I didn't have my passport, because as a baby, they don't really give you an actual passport.
yeah.
So I just did the work. It was a lot of work, actually, to actually get the dual citizenship, which I'm like, someone told me, well, Rainbow, you got to be careful of global taxation. I was like, oh, shoot, I didn't even think about that.
There is that too.
Whatever.
There is that too.
Yeah.
But the great thing about this community is there's many people you can ask.
Yeah.
Many
True.
people,
Oh, yeah,
like
I
I
didn't
got
think
I have dual citizenship.
okay,
Jim
okay.
has dual citizenship.
Oh, okay,
you know, he
okay.
has his kids,
Yeah.
and so anyway, all right.
Yeah.
So
So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the opportunity. You know, we had a lot of fun. I'd never done a like I did track baton relay. That was actually a little embarrassing. I think I dropped the relay.
that's not a Taiwanese thing, though.
But the opportunity to get to like do things that I would not normally do.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I am not a sports person at all.
Yeah.
You know, like I grew up in the performing arts as a singer, actor, dancer, right? And so it was fun to get to do that, and definitely like dancing. We definitely went clubbing. I didn't know that people were doing it in the middle of the week. I got in
You're
trouble.
such a good girl. You're such a
well,
good girl.
because
You're
one
an anomaly.
I
I
know.
think you're an anomaly on the
Well,
Love Boat.
I definitely partied on the weekends, but I just remember like one time I tried to go out and I was in like wanted to go like practice for track, right? You know, my little studio, so like I gotta show up, right? And they looked at me and they're like, "Where are you going?" They were hard on me. They're like, "Are you trying to sneak out?" And I was like, I'm in a running outfit. Where am I gonna go party? Plus, I was like, there's nowhere to go in Geelong. Again, not knowing that people were hopping into taxis to Taiwan or to Taipei. So I guess maybe that first, that first experience of getting in trouble for trying to just run the track, I was like, oh, I guess we don't sneak out. But little did I know that even now, how long has it been? 30 some years later. Bennett actually told me, he's like, oh yeah, we all went to Taipei all the time. And I was like,
Why didn't he take you?
didn't know that. Or maybe he did, I don't recall.
I'll need to interview Bennett.
I'll be like, let me tell you what Rainbow really did. And she like blocked out.
Oh yeah, maybe he's got photos, damaging
knows?
photos
Yes.
of you. You're not as pure as you're saying you are.
We definitely weekends were in Taipei because my good friend from college and two of his friends, like the three of us hung out with our other friends, and so we definitely partied. So that's why I was like, did I hang out with my relatives, or did I just spend the weekends with our friends? You know, so who knows? But I'm grateful to get to have more time, you know, in Taiwan because Taiwan's amazing.
It is amazing.
It's so, and the food, I really miss the food. Yeah, I really miss the food. So it was good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Yeah, so
Rainbow.
fun.
That's so much fun.
Yay, thank you.
Okay, let me turn it. So, I guess I need to come up with some closing remarks for these podcasts, but I don't have that because, as you can see, I was working on this before we sat down and started recording.
You've
so-
done a lot of work on the initiatives, so I think, you know, pointing people towards like
Yes,
how they can be
please.
involved.
Please get involved.
Yes.
We need more help.
Yes.
But
Even
but
just putting together the playlist of all the fun songs that make some of us cry.
that was really good. But anyway, so thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for the next alumni interview. Bye.